Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video. And that's right, yes, you read the title, and you know exactly what it is that I'm reviewing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure as though I have technically come across this film, kind of. For one thing, I hadn't seen this at all until, well, as of now, and I'm doing my review on it. Yes. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, even when looking at some of the cast members that are in this film, looking at, you know, the list of the films that they've done, most notably Cage, yeah, I'm sure, yeah, that I had come across this and so on, and, you know, the fact that this being straight from Disney under the defunct Touchstone Pictures, and also Jerry Bruckheimer being involved in this, his company. Oh, yeah. Yeah, just this movie, actually, I thought was pretty good. Yeah, that's right, guys. From 2000, it's Gone in 60 Seconds. Yes, Gone in 60 Seconds. Yeah, again, this movie, I thought was pretty good, and geez Louise, because only a 26% score on Rotten Tomatoes, that's, really? I mean, is this that bad? For me personally, I didn't think it was that bad, as I've said, yeah. I thought that what the story had to offer for Gone in 60 Seconds, and with a great cast, some cool action stuff here and there, and how mostly throughout this film, they're stealing a total of 50 cars, and this movie being set in Long Beach, pretty much the entirety of it. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I was not disappointed with it, not one single bit. And despite the fact that, yeah, sadly, because this film probably wasn't that much of a huge success when it came out, I don't know, I guess for some people, now including me, because come to really enjoy and respect this movie, yeah, for what it is. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, I've seen some other reviews of this film, like on IMDb, that thought that this was pretty good. And me too, yeah. And, you know, actually, fun fact, before I started watching this movie, and even before knowing what I was going to get myself involved in, you know, watching the film and such, and the title of the movie, Gone in 60 Seconds, for some reason, I was thinking of time travel. Like, I don't know, I mean, wouldn't you guys, wouldn't some of you guys think so too of this movie? I bet some of you probably did, but anyways. But no. I get the meaning of this title, and, again, with what goes on, and how many days that these characters have to collect 50 cars and up until Friday, so yeah. But anyways, it was good. I enjoyed Gone in 60 Seconds. Okay, so, as always, read the description / the story. A car thief is forced to steal 50, as I said, luxury vehicles in one night in order to save the life of his brother, who has fallen foul of a dangerous crime lord. Once the most successful car thief in California, he must reassemble his old gang to fulfill the almost impossible mission. His task is further hampered by a rival band of thieves and, of course, the local police. Okay, so, getting into the film itself, yeah, because, well, the opening to this movie was interesting. Like, you know, I'm talking about the opening credits, you know, because, we, you know, see, like, pictures and such, and, you know, like, say, with one of the main characters, and, yeah, and this was technically a remake of the 1974 film going by the same name, so, yeah. So, one of the first characters that we see, you know, not doing quite good at stealing a car, just how it's being done and such, and how, yeah, he gets in trouble with whom he's working for, the job that he has, stealing cars, and the whole thing of Car Booster and so on. Kip Raines, I think, yeah, I'm saying the last name right, being played by Giovanni Ribisi, if I'm saying his last name right. I know him, he's a really good actor. And, well, even like two detectives who step in and investigating, and especially because of them investigating car theft and such, one of them most notably being Detective Roland Castlebeck, being played by Delroy Lindo, I think. Yeah, I got that right. And notice that, like, there's shattered glass of, black light and such. That whole thing. Neon light, black light, and so on, yeah. Getting a sample of it, and what specifically? Like, he's trying, as he tries to figure this out, and that being a clue. Do you see a clue? Why did I say that? But anyways, just randomly came up. Yeah. And then, well, we get the introduction of one of the main characters. We saw Kip. Well, now we see his older brother, who used to be a master car theft, car booster and, stealing cars, but he has since retired. Yeah. That being Randall Memphis Raines. But yeah, I'm going to call him Randall just in case, because his first name a bit tricky to pronounce. And Randall being played by the one and only, and as I mentioned earlier, his last name, good old Nicolas Cage. Oh yeah. Nicolas Cage, and I'm pretty sure that, yeah, because this movie is one of Nicolas Cage's, first films that, Disney did. I mean, this is before the National Treasure films, okay? So, even G-Force. Does anybody remember G-Force? I do, yeah. Anyways, then, you know what, because, those other movies that he would do that would be distributed by Disney, those live-action films, well, reuniting, once again, Nicolas Cage once again reuniting with Bruckheimer. So, yeah, nice. So again, Randall now retired, and now he's, running this, go-kart business. Well, yeah, teaching kids how to drive go-karts and so on. But all of that is interrupted when, someone by the name of Atlee Jackson, being played by Will Patton, visits him and warns him about the situation and troubles that his young brother has got himself into, and whom he's working for. This, dangerous, evil guy, with car theft and so on, that being, Raymond Calatrava, I think I'm saying the last name right, yeah. Raymond being played by the one and only Christopher Eccleston, aka the Ninth Doctor. And keep in mind, because this came out a couple of years before he would play the next incarnation of the Doctor when Doctor Who was brought back, and from there on. But how sadly, only for one season. Yeah, anyways. But, yeah. So again, Jackson warning, Randall about the situation with his young brother and, this Raymond guy. And even Jackson warning Randall that, this guy is, scary. Even Jackson, pardon my French, but it's true, and with what he said, he too being scared the shit out of this Raymond guy. And when, Randall going to visit this Raymond guy, trying to get his brother out of there and trying to, settle this and with negotiations with this Raymond guy. Well, sadly, Kip is not going to be left off the hook that easily, and by Raymond. Raymond giving Randall 3 choices. One of them, most notably, is going back to what he did, Randall, that is, coming out of retirement, and to help collect 50 cars. If not, well, the other 2 options, because, because Randall was going to shoot him. Randall was going to shoot Raymond, but if he did so, then, well, not only would he be dead because of Raymond's men gunning him down, but also Kip would be dead too. Well, and because, not to mention, Kip was cuffed to a car and was going to be crushed, and even Raymond had a special coffin built for Kip. This guy, it's obvious Raymond is dangerous. He's a psychopath. And yeah, Jackson was not wrong. And one of the other options, again, 3, I already mentioned the 2. The other one was not only do both brothers die, but even the mentioning of their mother, and their mother would die too. But yeah, smart on Randall, and he has no other choice. It may be difficult, and because he's, he had retired and such, staying away from what he used to do, yeah, going with stealing 50 cars one night and up to Friday, and yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, and thankfully, yeah, Kip is let go, and yeah, well, it's nice to see that Raymond didn't keep Kip hostage. No, he let him go, but if the mission does not succeed, then yeah, they would kill Kip and such, so yeah. And yeah, Randall starting to get some help, starting with visiting an old friend named Odo Hallowell, I think I'm saying his last name right, being played by the legendary Robert Duvall. Yeah. And how can you not love Robert Duvall in anything that he does? He, and I know I'm probably going to be saying this again, and as I technically did, the cast in this movie, all fantastic. And of course, Robert Duvall. Yeah. So yeah, Otto having his own car shop and such, and also, Odo's, partner, Junie, being played by Frances Fisher, probably, yeah, be best known for playing Rose's mother in Titanic. And we don't get that much of Junie, but hey, Frances Fisher still did good in this. They all did, yeah. Some of them that did not get that much roles in this, big parts in the film, they still did pretty good. But yeah, so Raymond getting help from Odo, and after some convincing, yeah, Odo starts to help out Raymond, call up some people. They manage to, get a good chunk of people, but, some are busy and not wanting to help and such. Like, one of the phone calls was a woman moaning, like, oh, I see you're very busy and such, yeah. Also, to point out Odo's dog, yeah, because Odo's dog gets a bit of funny moments here and there, especially a unspecific moment, like unexpected moment, I should say, for Odo's dog until I get there. So some of the people that are reassembled, who are old gang members of Randall's, well, those are Mirror Man, being played by T.J. Cross, Toby, being played by William Lee Scott, Tumbler, being played by Scott Kane, I think I'm saying that right, Freb, being played by, gotta slow down, Freb being played by James Duvall, yeah, and there's also Donnie at Strictly, I'm saying that right, being played by Chi McBride, and the Sphinx, who almost throughout the entirety of this film is a mute, like he does not speak. I mean, he could if he wanted to, but no, he just pretty much doesn't talk. And the Sphinx being played by Vinnie Jones, who would go on to be the first actor to play Juggernaut in X-Men: The Last Stand. Yeah, that's him. And he's done a lot more than that, obviously. I also remember seeing him in a pretty good episode of Elementary, with Sherlock Holmes in America, and also Lucy Liu being in that, that show. Well, there's even a moment where, like two moments for Randall early on where he visits his and Kip's mother, Helen. Yeah, we do see their mother. Helen Raines being played by Grace Zabriskie, I think I'm saying that right. And, well, Randall giving his mother the warning and heads up on the situation and trouble that Kip is in, yeah. And also, the two detectives, yeah, as mentioned, Roland, and also Detective Drycoff. I think, yeah, I said that right. Drycoff, being played by good old Timothy Oliphant, if I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. And again, you know me sometimes how I pronounce these certain last names and words. Anyways, well, them coming face to face with Randall and a little chat that they have, it does go well, but still. Detective Roland is giving Randall a warning. If he does anything, and he knows Randall very well and what he used to do, and he's starting to sense, even later on, the two detectives suspect that, well, Randall might be up to something. Because why else would he be present and with them being there, just, But overall, point being is that, yeah, Roland giving Randall a warning that if he does anything, and going back to his ways or just anything, then, yeah, he'd be locked up forever. And even, like, them saying, Drykoff saying to Randall that when eventually he would get out, cars would be flying and just, yeah, future and such. But, yeah, again, it all goes well, and, not having them be suspicious on what he could be doing. But, yeah, but little do they know at first. And one of the other members that is, reassembled, not at first, but, she's not interested, just for a little bit. That being Sarah Sway Wayland, being played by Angelina Jolie. Yeah. And, Randall and Sarah, they know each other, and pretty sure that, yeah, because they were in a relationship before, but yeah. Well, of course, Randall telling Sarah about what's going on and with his younger brother, Kip, and she passes, she's sorry to hear, but she's not interested. But yeah, overall, all of the old team members of Randall's are reassembled, and, well, on a chalkboard, it's listed down on the total of 50 cars they need to specifically steal, and even giving them names. Yeah, because that way they know, and because some of them, like, being named Tanya, Vanessa, Pamela, and some of the cars being, say, a Dodge Charger, Daytona, Plymouth Hemi, Barracuda, Chevrolet, Corvette, and so on, and, and Mercedes. Yeah, can't forget to mention Mercedes, and, an unexpected moment, I should say, with the Mercedes, but until I get there, but yeah. So, pretty much throughout the film, because, yeah, them stealing the cars, and even when eventually Sarah did join in, finally, obviously she changed her mind, and obviously she knew that, you know what, she had to be there. She had to be there, and because, because of the past relationship that she and Randall had, and, well, because how much this means to Randall by, saving the life of his young brother. Yeah. Even, yeah, Kip joining in on the gang as well. So, I mean, why would he not? So, again, throughout the film, and I love this because it's important that this was added, where we see, the timeline and the estimated time and how long they have until they need to collect all the 50 cars and when time runs out and so on. Yeah. Also, because another character that we get a couple of times, and, well, Randall got into some beef with this guy in the past, and that being Johnny B. And for some reason, he's uncredited. Being played by Master P. Yeah, because they got into some beef in the past, and Johnny B recognizing him. And even when the first time we had met him, we saw them, and Johnny B and his guys, kicking Randall's ass. Pardon my French, but it's true. And luckily, when the Sphinx stepped in, helped out Randall, and even blowing up some of Johnny B and his boys' cars. Yeah, but that's not the last time we see Johnny B. So, again, throughout the film, them stealing cars, and they do succeed at times. They're doing pretty good. But there are certain moments in the film where, yeah, it seems like they're almost screwed up, just almost. Even when sometimes they would, come across the two detectives. And yeah, the two detectives still on their tail, again, them suspecting that it could be them, even when reaching out to those where they sense the fact that, yeah, they are going to go to these car shops and, because of these cars, that they're going to steal and such. And to name some of the other characters, there's Blonde in Drag Race, being played by Jamie Bergman. Kid in Rice Burner, yeah, being played by Michael Owen. A Waitress, being played by Holiday Haley. Forge, being played by Harry Van Gorkman. Yeah, and there's also Jenny, being played by Grace Una. Jess Cordy, who plays a cop at a quality cafe. And by the way, Jess Cordy, well, he would be best known for, well, I mean, on the side of him doing voice acting, best known for being the voices of, say, Mr. Manchess in Zootopia, the Black Panther, and LeFou in Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, that's him. He was also in Heist. Well, yeah, he was an additional crew as he's credited in Heist. And I completely forgot this, that he was the Colonel in the 2003 Hawk film. Yeah, but most notably, yeah, best known for being the voice of LeFou. So yeah, I'd almost forgotten that, and I don't think I really recognized him that he was in Gone in 60 Seconds, but yeah, anyways. Yeah, and some of the other characters like, a toxic car salesman, yeah, Steven, played by Stephen Shellen. DMV clerk, being played by Alexandra Balutis, if I'm saying that right. And a carjacker, being played by Rainbow Borden. Yeah, yeah. And even, like, say, by the way, because, like, the introductions of, you know, Randall's old gang members, you know, Donnie, for example, well, what he had been doing until he was reassembled, you know, when they called him up, he was teaching, basically his job by teaching, you know, people learning how to drive and such, you know, and he was having quite a struggle with this Asian lady, who was not doing so good at driving, and she admits it. She knows that she's been really bad at this, and it's not like that she's intentionally doing it. And even when she just like that squeal she makes, just getting emotional, jeez, it's kind of loud for poor Donnie. Oh well. But anyways, so yeah. Again, and to speed things up because, yeah, again, throughout most of the film, them just stealing the cars, and some of the, unexpected moments that happen for them, well, for example, because when they would run into Johnny B a couple of more times, well, that goes for, say, you know, only Randall and Kip, them trying to avoid and escape from them, and, the last time we would see Johnny B, well, because, you know, them making their way to, you know, this, like, gas station and such, and, the only way, and they see that, you know, there is a way that they can finally get rid of Johnny B. They don't have to deal with him anymore. They, spot a tow truck, and they attach the hook from the tow truck to the car that Johnny B and his boys are in. By doing so, and, well, when the tow truck is about to disembark from the station, gas station and such, well, causing the car that they're in to rip and such. And this, you know, gets the attention of some policemen that are present, and, yep, that's it for Johnny B and his boys, and thank goodness for Randall and even Kip. They don't have to deal with them anymore, so, yeah, good riddance to Johnny B. And other moments that happen for the characters, like, well, because, one moment where Freb screws up, not intentional, stealing a car that was not on the list of 50 cars that they were to steal. It was not, this specific car was not on their list. And what's even worse, the back of the car is carrying heroin. And if that's not enough, well, apparently Roland shows up, Detective Roland, he shows up at Odo's car shop when, yeah, they discover that Freb messed up, not intentionally, I presume, you know, stealing a car that was not on the list, and the fact that it carries heroin. So, yeah, it seems like, yeah, they're totally screwed, but thankfully, and when they're trying to play it cool and not have Roland suspect that they're doing anything, stealing cars and such, and even when checking out the car that, yeah, has the heroin, and even when they're trying to hide the heroin, it's on the floor, and even Donnie, he's trying to hide it, like, you know, like, have his shoe, like, cover some of the heroin, and when they let Roland try out the car and the motor and such, well, the wind and such from the motor, you know, it blows the heroin, so in the end, that's, everything's good for them. Yeah, but that wouldn't be the last time that where it seemed like they would almost be screwed up. But yeah, just again, them stealing the cars, and even still, like, seeing how much longer they have, like, you know, like, say, when it comes to, say, like, 36 hours left, 25 hours, 24, yeah. And, you know, there are some pretty good funny moments in the film. Yeah, because coming from some of, you know, Randall's old gang members, like, you know, from the young ones, you know, like, say, Freb, Toby, Tumbler, and even Kip. Well, even, say, like, Mirror Man and the Sphinx, because they were partnered up a couple of times. Like, one car that they stole, and on the front of it, you know, it said Snake. Yeah, the license plate and such, you know, it said Snake. And when they were stealing the car, and it was in this, garage parking lot, well, in the Jeep that they were in, it was a Jeep, because, yeah, Snake on the front of the car, on the license plate. Well, there was literally a python. A snake was in the car, and golly, because Mirror Man just freaking out over the snake, and, well, I mean, the Sphinx, he's playing it cool, you know. But even when, like, these other, like, detectives, you know, they step in and they see what's going on. But thankfully, they get out of there even disposing the snake on top of the detective's car. It's funny. And also, more moments that happen for, say, Randall and Sarah. Because, like, one moment where they are going to steal this car, and they see this couple who are in their home, you know, they've obviously returned home, and they're starting to, you know, make things steamy, get naughty and such. And Randall and Sarah watching this, and they're just waiting until they head to the bedroom so then they can steal the couple's car. But while that's going on, and while they're observing them just making out, and then when eventually they start to disrobe one another, Randall telling Sarah, because Sarah asked Randall, like, if he was seeing anybody. He did, but, you know, he let her go. And, well, presuming if it was Sarah or not, but yeah. And again, it's obvious that, yeah, they did have a previous relationship. And Sarah, you know, with what happened between them, like, you know, Randall tried to get Sarah to change, be a pretty good person and such, but, you know, she couldn't. But at least, you know, it seemed like, and from what we can tell, the chemistry between them, it's nothing really too extreme, but, it seems as though that, yeah, at that moment, and even when they're watching the couple make out and such, and it starts to get a bit steamy for them, and, you know, what can they do while they wait? And, well, yeah, it starts to get steamy between each of them, and even mentioning the gear, and, it's funny. But even Sarah, like, you know, she feels that this is stupid or something, but no, I mean, Randall, he really assures and convinces her, and, like, they really almost start to go at it, but when they see that the couple in the house starts to make their way to the bedroom, now is their chance to steal the car, and thus they do. It's amazing that makeout couple did not even hear the car that was being stolen from them drive off. Well, I don't know, because depending on the walls or the mirror, because, yeah. And because they were too busy about to have sex, but anyways. And more moments that happen for some of the characters, like, well, remember when I mentioned the Mercedes? Well, there's one moment where something bad happens and something's a bit screwed up with the Mercedes, and even, like, the keys, for example, and how somehow the keys to the Mercedes, like, they got into these sandwiches, and Odo's dog ate the sandwiches. So now it's up to Freb, and I think, yeah, either Toby or Tumbler, you know, to handle that, and in order for Odo's dog to, you know, take Odo out, and when, you know, doo-doo and such, you know. But then there's one moment where these these street gangs, like, they approach them because they're not supposed to be in their territory. One of them being named in Ignacio, if I'm even saying that right, being played by Michael Pena, who would be best known for being in, say, the Oscar-winning film Crash, but most notably, one of Scott Lang's friends in Ant-Man. The guy who, one of the highlights for his character, recapping some elements, like, so this guy and so-and-so, Lewis, yeah, him, so... but he was also, other big films that he was in was, like, say, End of Watch and American Hustle. Yeah, so, but of course, most notably, that has to go for Crash and Ant-Man, so, yeah. Anyways, so, yeah, when they confront Freb and one of the others, like, and they're trying to, get Odo's dog to take a crap, eventually Odo's dog does, and... it's Freb who, basically gets the keys out of the dog crap, and the gang guys, like, they find this gross, and, they're not gonna beat them up and such, they're out of here, because they can't handle the grossness. Oh, man. But, then, another moment that happens for some of these characters, for Randall, there's one moment where he notices that there's something suspicious, and when slowly but surely he realizes that, yeah, the detectives, they're kind of on him, seeing what he's doing and such, and when the moment comes, yeah. And how, noticing one car just being parked in this specific spot and such, and when he ditches one car that he was gonna steal, just, yeah. And again, how slowly but surely, they discover, that it's Randall and what he's doing. However, there was a moment later on when, they were learning about Raymond, yeah. But even, like, it'd be homicide to, come face to face with Raymond and such, because, yeah, homicide being mentioned, a little later on. Also, another moment that I can think of, pretty funny because, this, involving Donnie, most notably him, because when stealing one of the other cars, a carjacker showing up, get out of the car and such, but Donnie easily taking out the carjacker and hijacker and just setting him straight on how crappy he is and what he's doing, it's pretty funny. Yeah, Donnie definitely, I mean, they're all funny, even Donnie, because his personality, and yeah, Chi McBride, he's good, and again, everybody was good in this. I've said this before, and I know I'm going to say it again. Yeah, even when I come up to my final thoughts and results on the film, but anyways... and yeah, again, the more cars that they steal, and they're getting there, they're getting pretty close. And even when it comes to, say, 48 cars, and then when it comes to car number 49. But there was one moment for, say, Kip, Toby, and Tumbler. Well, because one car that they were stealing, and just so happens that this car they were stealing, it was a Cadillac, yeah, pretty sure. And there was this party happening out in the backyard of this house that had this car, and Toby, it was like coming face to face with this swimming girl being played by Charlene Bloom, because like kind of like smiling, I guess, at the girl, but yeah, of course, her noticing what's actually going on, and, call security and so on. And yeah, there is a moment where they do get chased, but unfortunately, and even when they do escape the police, one of them got shot, and that was, Toby, so, poor Toby. And when they're getting close, and when it comes up to, say, 49 cars, and Toby being taken in to be hospitalized, well, one of the last cars that is left to steal, and even when the two detectives trying to figure out the entire mystery and clue because of the black light and such, the shattered pieces of it that, Detective Roland discovered, and when going back to that specific place, and when they seem to realize that, Randall being attached and such, and one of the cars that Roland knows that Randall is scared to get, and in Long Beach, it's basically Eleanor. It's a Ford. It's a 1967 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. Yeah, that. A Shelby. And by the way, there is a couple of mentionings of Grand Theft Auto, so yeah, that's kind of what it is, but yeah, in this movie. So, again, Roland knows that Randall would be scared at getting that car, and that being the last car number 50 to get. And when that happens, when it comes up to getting that last car, well, I mean, yeah, because, and again, the car being named Eleanor, and don't we all, because we would interact with our cars, you know? Randall starting to interact with Eleanor and, you know, keep me safe, I keep you safe and such. And when, of course, and to speed things up, yeah, the detectives are there and they can see that, yeah, Randall stealing the Eleanor and, well, nice on Sarah's part, you know, helping out Randall and trying to, you know, get to slow down the detectives, and that's what she does, and just what she does to them, you know. And yeah, that car chase sequence, the Eleanor car chase sequence between Randall in Eleanor and with the detectives, the police force, a helicopter / a chopper, police chopper, chasing down Randall in the Shelby, you know, being named Eleanor. Yeah, really cool. It was a really cool car action chase sequence. You know, the specific way to say it. All throughout, like, you know, say, Long Beach and some of the obstacles that Randall, thankfully avoids, you know, and how would a master driver he is, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, because even the detectives, most notably Roland, giving compliment and praise to Randall, despite the fact they have to chase him down, they compliment him, they consider him really good at being a driver, you know, with what he does. He's got the mad skills, even when this chase is happening. And when it seems like, yeah, even like at certain points, they lose him and he gets away from them, but when, you know, the chase starts again, and yeah, what do I have to say? What more do I have to say on the car chase sequence of Eleanor in this film? It's really good. And when it gets more intense, like, here's the thing. Time is running out, you know? On that day when Randall got and hijacked the car Eleanor, well, it's on the day that all 50 cars are to be brought to, you know, the bad guy, of course, and so on. Yeah, time is running out. Can Randall make it? Well, he's trying to, but even when at a certain point, and further in the car chase, you know, well, a bridge is blocked, and yeah, because of an accident, and there's an ambulance and such, I think, yeah, one or two, and, well, Randall, he's got to get through the bridge, but it's blocked, and not to mention that, well, they're right behind him. The detectives and the police, they're right behind him. However, Randall spots, like, something where he can drive and fly, you know, like a ramp or something, you know, attached to a car, that kind of thing. And that's what he does. Like, he backs up the car as best as he can, even when the detectives and the police are right behind him. You know, they have him surrounded, the gun's whipped out, but he drives, and how fast he goes, going through that ramp and just flying, and oh, he made it! He made it! And that reaction / expression that he makes is, whew, yeah, that's understandable. And again, it's obvious that the detectives, they are stunned, and gotta give Randall compliment on what he did. Boy, risking his life and such. And even when it comes to, you know, a shipyard, and, well, for the cars to be transferred and such, yeah, still, Randall luckily managing to still avoid and dodge and escape from, you know, the detectives and the police force, even when, like, a canister kind of, like, you know, flies around, and jeez Louise, even some of the policemen in their police cars getting crashed and bumped and such, like from a bus or, yeah, but at least they managed to survive, for one thing. So, yeah. And also, I didn't talk that much about, like, some serious and emotional stuff. Well, even when, time is almost running out. And there's one moment for, say, well, yeah, I already did, because, like, say, for Randall, Sarah, but, but also, there's a moment between Kip and Jackson. And Jackson, he does at times help out Randall and the others. And Jackson, he tells Kip about, well, the fact that his older brother, he retired from what he did, and the fact that Kip started to, he became a part of what his older brother did. Well, Randall, according to Jackson, what he says to Kip, he retired and left that, what he did, being a car theft and so on, car booster, he quit all of that, he retired from that because of his younger brother, and the fact that Kip would get into that. Just like what his older brother did is, yeah, But, that's family, and sometimes what they would do, and certain things like this, and how it is in this movie, but yeah. But, yeah, and still, to speed things up, well, it seems like, maybe possibly, Randall's gonna make it. Well, 12 minutes late, actually, and you realize that we do not get that much of Christopher Eccleston in this as Raymond. No, I mean, he's there at the beginning, and we see him almost at the climax. I mean, this isn't the first movie where we would have a villain just, appearing at the very beginning, but then we would see them. The next time we would see them is near, like, the third and final act, and the climax just, yeah. But still, we know from the beginning and the personality of the main antagonist what Raymond's like, and with Christopher Eccleston's great performance in this, yeah, we know. But yeah, it seems that, yeah, 12 minutes is up, but, Randall, setting Raymond straight that, all 50 cars are here, a deal's a deal, and despite the fact that Eleanor, as the car's being named, that, yeah, like, may not look that much, but, according to Randall, it's really good, and even though, like, one car rear window was broken, because, yeah, he accidentally broke it, and even when there was one moment he couldn't get Eleanor to start up, but thankfully he did. Well, it seems like maybe Raymond obliges, but nope, because he literally punches the crap out of Randall, just one punch, and he had this metal piece around his knuckles. Oh, jeez. And he's basically going to have Randall be killed. And that's what happens. He will be crushed in a car. However, thankfully, well, Jackson steps in, and even Kip. Yeah, they help Randall get out of the situation, and, well, Randall going back to confront Raymond once and for all. Yeah, and that's what he does. Even threatening Raymond, because he took something of Raymond's, like something that Raymond was building and such, and that, it was something special to him, but yeah, Randall just like, oh, I'm sorry, just breaking it, and yeah, and avoiding the gunshots, gunfire from Raymond. And even when the two detectives, Roland and Drykoff, they do step in, and oh boy, because even when I was watching this movie, I was just waiting for the moment, just like, oh yeah, obviously the detectives are going to come face to face with Raymond, and somehow or other, somehow either way, I should say, Randall will be let off the hook, just in some way, and about to find out, and yeah. Through, through the shipyards and, the pipes and such, Randall hiding from Raymond, while the two detectives, because they do hear the gunfire and they're being precautious and such, even when Randall was hanging off to the side and his fingers were holding, we can see and how, Raymond was almost near where Randall was hiding, and, well, sure enough, Detective Roland and Raymond, they do come face to face with one another, and Roland being in a deep situation, a big, troubled situation, I should say, with Raymond, and Raymond, of course, he's not going to let Roland off the hook, and even, well, yeah, and he's not going to be taken down by the police, for one thing. Yeah, Raymond is not going to let that happen. Like, it's war against him and the policeman for all he cares. But thankfully, and when it seemed like Raymond was almost about to kill Roland, thankfully, Randall steps in and knocks Raymond off, and, well, Raymond falling to his death, like hitting a couple of mirrors or something, and then even like hitting the coffin that he had made specifically for Kip. And yeah, Raymond, he's defeated once and for all. He fell to his death. Sayonara. And, well, Roland, a little interaction that he has with Randall, and realizing that Randall was doing this because, his love for his brother, and looking after his younger brother. And even because when coming face-to-face with Raymond and such, yeah. And thankfully, Roland, he lets Randall off the hook and, tells him that he needs to get going or else something will happen. And yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, great to see. And, well, all ends well. And the epilogue that we get, well, because everybody is, all together and such. Thankfully, Toby, he survived. And after all that time, all throughout the film, and I had a feeling that, and I'm sure you would too, when watching this movie, the Sphinx, the only one who did not talk, surely he would have. He would, right? At the very end of the movie, he does. He, out of nowhere, gives this speech, and when mentioning Toby, poor Toby, poor us, and I thought you were from Long Beach because of the accent the Sphinx has, Well, that being Vinnie Jones's actual accent, we know, so yeah. And then, there's one moment where Kip, he surprises his older brother with these keys, and well, it's Eleanor. Kip managed to, save the car Eleanor and giving his older brother a car. Yeah, and it's also thanks to Odo and Jackson for this, yeah. Also, it seems, we also see that Randall and Sarah, they've gotten back together. And, yeah, and, having Sarah, take a ride with him in Eleanor. And, yeah, all ends well, and when we see them drive off in Eleanor, but when the screen cuts to black, and before the credits roll, we hear the engine of Eleanor having troubles, and, well, Randall, saying, oh, don't do this to me, Eleanor, not again, just, yeah, definitely Eleanor needs some workarounds, yeah, but, yeah, that was a really good and funny way to end off the film right there. Yeah, Gone in 60 Seconds. I thought it was a pretty good film. Sure, it may not be the best, but still, I don't think it was that bad. Seriously, and again, is this really a god-awful film and a bad remake or something? Just, I don't know. It may not be, of course it could not top off the original, but still, that's not to say it's god-awful, at least in my opinion, and I'm sure the same goes for some of you who have seen 2000's Gone in 60 Seconds. The story in Gone in 60 Seconds, not bad, pretty good. Where the film was going, and throughout most of the film, them stealing cars, funny, unexpected, and emotional moments happening here and there. The car chase sequences, the climax, the fight and action, really good. The cast of characters, again, they were all fantastic. I thought they did pretty good in this. The music and score, pretty good too. Yeah, just what more do I have to say? 2000's Gone in 60 Seconds is pretty good, at least in my opinion, and I'm sure the same goes for some of you guys. And I'm giving 2000's Gone in 60 Seconds, why not? And because how much I've said that I thought this was pretty good, and again, it may not be the best, still, I'm giving it 7 out of 10 stars. Yes. 7 out of 10 stars for 2000's Gone in 60 Seconds. And what about you guys? What did you think of Gone in 60 Seconds itself from 2000? Any of you that either saw this first or the original, do you think that 2000's Gone in 60 Seconds was pretty good with what Disney under Touchstone and Jerry Bruckheimer Films had to offer with this? With its great cast of actors, actresses, the funny, emotional, unexpected moments, the car action sequences, most notably the chase sequence with Eleanor, the car that Randall's in, the climax and the main antagonist, all the other characters. Which were some of your favorite characters and a part of Randall's old gang members that are reassembled? yeah, just what more do I have to say? Overall, what do you think of Gone in 60 Seconds from 2000 itself, and with what I've had to say, my review, and yeah, what did you think of my review? Leave comments and give this review video a like, as always. And so, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of 2000's Gone in 60 Seconds. More review videos are coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I will see you guys in the next video / review. And stay tuned later tonight because, well, reviewing another Marvel film, and it's the next X-Men film where we deal with the Dark Phoenix. Yeah, it's obvious. Again, stay tuned for that. Take care, and peace out.